Damon here with NLP Gym, and we just wrapped up the second day of training with Dr. Sid Jacobson doing the workshop Hypnosis and NLP. How did you think today went?
I enjoyed it a lot. I hope
Me too.
everybody had a good time.
Yeah, I definitely did too. One of the things I wanted to ask you about, which was we were at lunch here in the hotel here in Santa Cruz, and we told the waitress that we were doing a hypnosis workshop, and the first words out of her mouth was that that sounds scary. And so I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the myths of hypnosis because I remember thinking sort of those things too before I knew what hypnosis was. And I forget sometimes that people do actually have that response to hypnosis.
Sure,
Like, oh, that's something scary. I
sure,
don't want to do that.
right.
And so let's talk about some of the myths and let's debunk some of those myths for anyone who's watching who hasn't had any training.
Well, first of all, you almost have to go back to how you define hypnosis in the first place. See, I've always told people if you line up 10 people who do hypnosis and ask them for their definition, you'll get 147 different definitions because there's so many different ways to talk about it. And hypnosis, of course, over the years has gotten all kinds of reputations depending on which movies you've seen, which television shows you've heard about, which friend of an uncle of a cousin of a guy across the street from down the next town had somebody, do hypnosis and his head exploded. I mean, there are urban myths and fears all over the place that don't have anything to do with the reality. Hypnosis has been around in various forms, you could say since caveman days because it's all about altering people's consciousness for some purpose. But really, for about 300 years, people have been in clinical sessions or clinical settings of some sort in various parts of the world, sitting people down and talking to them a way that would alter their states and getting them to think differently, understand the world differently, feel things differently, whatever. And the rule in hypnosis has always been that hypnosis is only dangerous if the hypnotist thinks hypnosis is dangerous, in which case he'll undoubtedly communicate that in some way to the person he's working with, and probably won't do a very good job, actually, because he won't be congruent about what he's doing. And congruence is important in hypnosis. It's important to know what you're doing, to be well trained, to know how to do it, and to be able to deliver good results for people. But people have these ideas that hypnosis is some kind of magic, or that it has to do with you as the subject giving up your will to me as the hypnotist, and I'm going to control you in some way. And that's just not the reality. It never has been. Uh, the movies haven't helped with that very much either. There are also other myths people have about only certain people can be hypnotized, and people who are very smart can't be, or people who are very not smart can't be, and none of these things is really very true with the way that we understand how hypnosis works nowadays, from studying people like Erickson to before him, to his contemporaries, to NLP with all the people who've developed NLP. We know a hell of a lot more about how it works these days and how to use it. And a lot of the techniques that are built in NLP were really built out of bits and pieces of classical hypnotic technique, combined in ways to make them safe and functional and useful, to maintain ecology so that people wouldn't create new problems by solving the old ones, and to make sure that people were actually getting the things that they needed to get. So I like to think of hypnosis as a really powerful, useful set of tools that anybody can learn, because all we're doing is using naturally existing process that human beings go through in communication with each other. And in those processes, people alter their states to process information differently than they would if they were in other states. So one way of thinking of it is a lot of times we're just taking people out of the trances they're in the first place that aren't working for them, and getting them into better trances that they are. And that was Fritz Perls, the developer of NLP, of Gestalt therapy, one of the precursors of NLP. That was his view. So that's one of the things that we're doing. Some of the other things that we're doing are really empowering people with hypnosis. When I first learned to do hypnosis, I was in class when I was in college, many, many, many moons ago. And our teacher took us all through a series of hypnotic experiences in order to teach us how to do it ourselves. So personally, I've been using self-hypnosis since 1974, and it's helped me greatly in a number of ways. And I didn't learn how to do clinical hypnosis really until my NLP training in 1978. And I've been doing it ever since. It's great fun. It's great fun to teach. People get a lot out of it. And it's really easy to see immediate results, and I think that's valuable for everyone.
Well, and I have to say, through this entire day and all day yesterday, and the previous hypnosis training that I've done, I've never once got scared doing hypnosis.
Good, good, because it's not really very scary once you get into it. It's really just a lot of fun.
Yeah. Can you think of any other myths that people? Because when you tell people you do hypnosis, you must get people saying, "Oh no, I don't want to." I don't like hypnosis, or I don't want to do hypnosis, and they start spitting out all these myths.
Well, the main ones are that people will lose control. They won't have their own control, or that they're giving up their control or their abilities to somebody else. Those are probably the two main ones. A third one is that people will do things that are embarrassing or crazy or stupid or dangerous just because they're in trance. Another one is that people will spill out every secret they've ever had in their life, whether they want to or not. They'll just start talking about all the embarrassing things they've ever done. And none of those things is really true. Another side to it is that a lot of people think they're going to do it badly, even as a subject. They'll say, "Oh, I know you're going to do a really good job, but I always fail, so I know I'll fail at this too." And they think that hypnosis is different than other things, and that it's somehow going to be difficult for them, or that they're not going to be capable of going into trance and getting what they want, and it's just not very useful. Some of the more common fears people have heard about or worried about are, I might go into trance and I won't ever be able to come out again. This has never happened in the history of mankind, as far as we know. Or that people will develop some sort of psychotic disorders or something. You hear about this from time to time. People will say, "Oh, I was fine until I went to this hypnotist, and now I'm, my life is a mess because of whatever." But it's not hypnosis that does that. It's something else. I mean, people can be tricked. They can be fooled. They can do something that takes somebody into an unresourceful state. Even well-meaning, that people can make mistakes or do something where somebody doesn't get what they wanted to get. But really, using the kinds of things we do today in NLP, with ecology checks built in, with carefully designed procedures to take people from where they are to where they want to go, with testing to make sure that they're successful, these things are pretty rare. Most of the time people get a really good result really fast, and they're really happy with it.
I couldn't agree more.
All right, thanks.
Okay, well, that's about it for today, and we have another full day of hypnosis training, and that'll be the final day, and we hope to have you back in Santa Cruz again soon.
Me too. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Till next time.
Yeah. So if you're watching us on YouTube, which you probably are, please hit that button to subscribe to this YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, and check out our website, nlp-gym.com, for all the updates on our upcoming trainings, and check out our blogs there as well. I usually update that daily. Take care.